Hey guys, how's it going? It's John from Creative Tap. Now in today's tutorial I'm going to be going over one of my favourite new features of Illustrator CC 2019 and that's the Freeform Gradient tool, and it enables us to create this kind of, well, believe it or not, freeform gradient. But I'll go over exactly what that is, and we'll finish this short little tutorial by creating this Instagram logo. Okay, so I'm going to move that up there. Just give it a quick rename, and let's make a new layer just so I can show you this excellent, awesome new tool. Okay, so new layer, I'm just going to draw just a simple ellipse. Okay, and what you would have done before, if you wanted to fill this with a gradient, you'd have gone, click the gradient tool, and you'd have drawn a gradient in here. If you go to window and open gradient as well, so you got this. Before you'd have had linear gradient, which is just I click this, linear gradient from right to left or up and down, you can move it around orientation. And you'd also have a radial gradient from the inside out, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's all you kind of had. Now you've got this one, freeform gradient, and what this does, if you give that a click, I've still got the Instagram colors loaded in. It gives you these little points. Okay, so if I select and move them around, you've got loads of different colors. So I'm just going to bin that one. And I think you'll probably start off with like 3. So what you can do is you can, I'm going to make sure I'm on points, okay, because you'll default to points first of all. So you've got these little points you can move around. If I double click this, I can pick a colour, something like that, a nice sky blue. Double click this one, let's get a sort of lighter blue, and maybe add a little bit of yellow in there. And let's double click this one and make this one quite a bit more yellow. Maybe add a little bit more green in there. Okay, so you could move them around and start to create some really cool stuff. Let's make this one a little brighter, like so. And then you can click them and see this little bit by here. You can drag to see how wide that gradient spills over, or you can just move them, stuff like that. So you get some really nice stuff, and it kind of almost builds a sort of, if you work it right, you can get a kind of almost 3D kind of 3D-ish kind of look going. You can also, if I click edit gradient, go into lines, okay? And then when you start clicking in, instead of making points, you can draw like a line. So if I hit escape, it'll finish. And if I start clicking to modify each of these points, maybe make them 100% yellow, 100% yellow, 100% yellow, and 100% yellow. And, you know, that's not looking too great. It's very, very experimental. But you can see it's a bit wacky, a bit different. If I click edit gradient, I can move these points around. Make sure I'm back in points. Because if you want to add more points, all you need to do, draw, points, click. So let's make this, I don't know, a pink. Okay, and, you know, it's starting to get a little bit wacky now. But it updates instantly. So that's really, really quite cool. Okay. So that's basically the new tool. So what we're going to do is use this to make something. So like I said, we're going to be making this Instagram logo. So I'll keep this one up just as reference. So I'll get a rounded rectangle tool, draw out like so, bring these edges in just to round it off, and then I'm going to go for gradient, freeform gradient, and color for this point I'm going to go for is going to be like a sort of very rich, sort of pinkish, pinkish purple. I'm going to add another point sort of by here, double click it, and I want to make this a strong magenta, like so, something like that. This bottom one, I'm going to click in here, double click it then, and I'm going to go for a really strong yellow. Okay, and then to get this little orangey bit in, what I did is I went to lines, and I 1, 2, and 3. Hit escape. Escape. There you go. Now what I'll do is double click these and just go for a really sort of strong orangey red. Okay, something a little bit like that. Okay, so 95 and then 100. I think I actually went 85, 0, 85, 100, 0. Okay, so double click this one. 0, 85, 100, and then 0. Let's get this one. 0, 85, 100. and 0. Okay, and then that's more or less there for the colors. You can kind of come in, edit gradient, maybe go to points, click this and maybe bring it down a little bit, maybe move these kind of points, maybe bring this one out, no, add another one, click it, maybe drag it out a little bit. I don't know, you can kind of play around to get what kind of looks you want. But oh wait, that's kind of more or less there really. Let's bring that over. Okay, so the next bit is I will be getting this rounded rectangle tool again, clicking, drawing out something like this, rounding it off, and then no fill, but we want a white outline. Let's make the stroke fairly thick, something like that. Click this shape and drag it to the center. If you've got your guides on, you should be able to more or less line it up exactly. See, center. Next, I'm going to get my ellipse tool. Same again, probably about that size. Let's drag this down, see what kind of stroke we're working with. Put it in the center. Okay, yeah, I may go a little bit touch bigger on this. So holding Shift and Alt, and maybe bring it down to 12. Then I'm just going to get my final ellipse, draw about that size. I don't want a stroke, I just want a white fill. So I'll bring that, click and drag, boom. We've got our Instagram logo, and you can fiddle around with the alignment of everything and the sort of softness of the corners. Maybe I'd go to this and soften the corners a little bit more, like that. But yeah, there you go. So that's using the Freeform Gradient tool to create an Instagram logo, and you can create loads of stuff with it. So have some fun, and hope you enjoyed. Check out the rest of our stuff. Click like, subscribe, and all that. But cheers for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.